Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 4 college basketball games for Friday, January 27th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Friday in college basketball. First up, we go to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference as Rider takes on Marist. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN3. Now, Rider's on a 3-game win streak, and that includes a road victory over Iona back on January 15th. That was a 3-point win there. Playing good basketball, but I do think this is going to be a tough spot here for an underrated Marist team that I think the defense is going to keep them in this ball game. Overall, this is a good defensive team in terms of defensive rebounding. They force a good amount of turnovers, and they force tough shots on the other end. They're also 40th in the country, Marist is, in 2-point field goal defense. And, Rider's a team, it doesn't really take too many three-pointers, and they don't really make those three-pointers at a great rate. 300th in the country in three-point shooting as a team. So they focus on those 2-point field goals and try to get to the free throw line. But against this Marist defense, I just don't think that's going to be the case. Now, we saw earlier this season, Marist lost to Rider 77-71. But that was a home game for Rider. In that one, they shot 43% from 3. I don't think we can expect those numbers in this game on the road. I think it's going to be a close game, and I'm going to take the points here with Marist. Next up, we go to Niagara and Manhattan. This one's 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. Now, Noah Thomason has played really well against this Manhattan team in years past. Already this season, the first meeting between these two, he put up 23 points. He was 2 of 3 from 3, 6 of 13 from 2-point range as well. Last year, he had another 20-point performance against Manhattan in the overtime game against the Jaspers. One of the best games I watched last year. I remember that one. Both teams were excellent from 3-point range. It was an overtime game. Niagara won it in the end and covered the number. But, Jose Perez for Manhattan last season, he had a great year, but he had 38 points in that game. He was 7 of 14 from 3. Now, Manhattan had to replace a lot of his, scoring production this year, and it hasn't been easy. It's why the Jaspers have struggled for most of the season. They're 6-12. They're ranked 312th in KenPom. They were competitive in their game against Iona a few games ago, but I just don't think they're going to have enough in this game in a true road spot. I'd much rather take Manhattan when they're underdogs at home, but not when they're underdogs on the road. I do think Niagara is going to get some revenge on Manhattan after they lost to Manhattan at the first meeting this season. I like Niagara in this one to grab a win and grab a home cover as well. So give me the Purple Eagles laying the points in this one. Next up, we go to the Mountain West as Air Force takes on New Mexico. This one, 10 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network. This is a really tough spot, in my opinion, for Air Force, and even though this could be considered a little bit of a letdown spot or even a look-ahead spot for New Mexico after they played in a really emotional game against Nevada, they got Utah State on deck. Now you play the weakest team in the conference. Maybe you don't have the motivation to blow out Air Force, but still, just in terms of talent level and just in terms of the home court advantage that we usually see New Mexico have in these pit games when they're playing at the pit, it's just really tough to back Air Force in this game in their current form. We saw them fail to cover against San Diego State. They lost that game by 10 points at home. And then their last game against San Jose State, this is a team, San Jose State is, Air Force usually should be able to compete with them, the two of the weaker teams in the conference. You lose that game by 30, 82-52 in the road. Now you expect to go in the pit against a New Mexico team. It's still ranked in the AP polls, and they're coming off a frustrating loss. I just wouldn't want to be Air Force. This is a team that's ranked 331st in offensive rebounding percentage, 222nd in defensive rebounding percentage. This is a New Mexico team that's going to be able to get those second chance looks. They take care of the basketball. They should be able to score at will, and the defense should also be able to hold up against a struggling Air Force offense that if it's not making those three-pointers at a great rate, they are going to struggle to put up points. I like New Mexico in this game to win and win it pretty comfortably. I'm going to lay the points here with the Lobos. And the final game we're to talk about for Friday's card in college basketball, it's going to be in the Atlantic 10 Conference as St. Louis takes on Davidson. This one's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern start time. It's going to be on ESPN2. Now, St. Louis is a very talented offensive team. They're ranked 50th in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency. They're pretty good on the offensive glass. They take care of the ball. Pretty good shooting team, and they've won 5 straight games. but I do worry about them in this spot on the road against a Davidson team. It's certainly in a down year compared to last year's team that was excellent. Davidson's this offense is a lot different than last year's team. They're ranked 326th right now in three-point shooting. Last year, they had basically everybody on the court was able to shoot three-pointers. They were fourth in the nation in three-point shooting as a team, so a big difference, but I still worry about that St. Louis defense, a defense that's not very aggressive, doesn't force many turnovers, and in terms of the shot quality allowed, I do think that opposing teams, I think the door is open for them. If they have a really good shooting night, especially when they're playing on their home court, they could certainly beat this St. Louis team. I still think St. Louis is the best team in the A-10 right now, and I like the fact they're on a 5-game win streak, but when you look at the teams that they played, St. Bonaventure, George Mason, George Washington, Loyola Chicago, and LaSalle, all 5 of those teams not really having the best of years, all 5 of them outside the top 130 in Ken Pom. I do think Davidson, if there was a night for a breakout shooting performance from guys like Foster Lawyer, this would be the one. They're going to have the opportunities. They already take care of the basketball really well. They're top 100 in turnover percentage on offense, so the shots are going to be there. They just got to make them at a good rate, and you're playing at home here against a defense that's not necessarily the best, a little bit inconsistent. I think this is a good spot to take Davidson. I think the value's there with the Wildcats. Give me Davidson in this one on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.